Hey everyone, it's Kevork from Major League Crypto.
And Jack Gleason as well. And we're here with the every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 Eastern. Check us next Wednesday as well. We're going to be doing this all year. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrencies. What are some of the topics we got set up here for today, Kevork?
We got several things to talk about. First is like the apparently there's technically a Bitcoin 2x fork going on, but apparently people are saying it's a scam. Then we have to talk about is what we have here. Yeah, the Charlie Lee Vitalik conversation that happened a couple days ago.
Okay, so Charlie Lee, who's the founder of Litecoin, sold all of his Litecoins. I don't think we had a chance. That kind of happened like right after last week's episode, right?
No, I believe we did talk about it.
We did talk about
we did talk about it. And basically Vitalik Buterin, who was like the mind behind Ethereum, they had like they have an exchange of words over Twitter, and it was kind of interesting to see because
Twitter fingers turn into trigger fingers.
Especially if you're John McAfee today. He got hacked apparently, and he was tweeting a lot of different coins. And yeah, I got a couple of them here if we want to pull this up, like to start off the stream for like a fun little thing.
Yeah, so we'll go over that, and then one thing I'm going to show you guys how to do. So I actually put like a little over $1,000 in a Coinbase account, and for those of you guys who are new to trading, maybe you only know how to fund a Coinbase account, we're going to go through the steps that you have to take to fund Binance account. So Binance is out of China, Coinbase is out of the United States, but Coinbase right now, as of last week, has now 4 coins, which really leaves, you know, hundreds, if not more than 1,000 coins that are available to trade in other places. So we're going to show you how to take your money in your Coinbase account and actually transfer that over to a Binance account. So any of you guys who are completely new and don't know how to go through that, we'll be going over that as well on top of just our standard charts and stuff here this week.
Yeah, so if we switch to my desktop, Aaron, what we'll see here is John McAfee, or the fake John McAfee tweet, coin of the day, ticker SC, load the fuck up. Basically, I was already on the computer, right, just checking out the markets. I have my mobile Twitter notifications on, so I get everything, right, from all the coins to John McAfee. John McAfee tweeted something about Coin, saying it's my coin of the day, and I'll be doing a daily Coin update, which is like, all right, pump, let's go. So I was looking at it, I was about to make the trade, then I saw this tweet, and I'm like, wait a minute, 100% hacked. There's no way that he just tweeted this, and it was just hilarious. So after that, what else is next here?
So John McAfee, for those of you guys who don't know, he created the McAfee antivirus software, which you've probably heard of. However, the guy is considered somewhat insane, but he has kind of been a leading vocal voice in the media. And so his Twitter account, whatever he seems to be talking about, people are piling in, and it's driving the price higher.
Do you think he's running McAfee software on this computer that he got hacked from?
I hope not. Although I do believe he has no longer any affiliation with that company. Pretty much sure he's sold off. He's also a criminal wanted in Belize. Guy's an interesting character. But besides all that, people follow his tweets. He got hacked this week. And what were the coins that he was tweeting out, or whoever hacked him was?
Yeah, so the other one we got here was NXT. Okay, my bad. Coin of the day is NXT. It's going to two-time very soon. Buy now or cry later. This one did not pump. Coin, I think, went up, 15% roughly relative to BTC. And this one did not move. But then another one was right after that was, I got these screenshots on my phone right before. I knew he was going to take all these down when he got control back from his account. So he said, coin a day, BAT, basic attention token, buy it right now. Brave browser is dope. And you know what? I could agree. I like Brave browser a lot. I use it. Yeah, so then at this final
what
one.
What is Brave browser?
It's just a browser to use. So I think it's based off the Chromium software from Google. And it's like a built-in ad block and stuff like that. And
okay, so is BAT their coin?
Yes, BAT is basic attention token. And basically the browser is integrated with a wallet. So you can actually send over payments and stuff. So apparently right now you can use BAT to like donate to people like on different sites and stuff, which is kind of cool.
Wow. I've never heard of that. Interesting.
So fake John McAfee recommended that. And the final thing is coin of the day, XRP Ripple. It's getting added to Coinbase before New Year's. Buy. Yeah, well, Ripple might be the first coin to be added on the Coinbase besides Bitcoin Cash. So this is kind of funny.
I do think that's some pretty good speculation there, but pretty much when anything gets added to Coinbase, it's equivalent to a merger in the stock market. Thing shoots up super high. So if there's any kind of, that's a great news event play you want to be long. If anything were to be added to Coinbase, but I do think that Ripple will be added. I have no inside sources that say that. It's purely my own speculation based on its popularity.
Yeah, I think Ripple is definitely one of the highest candidates. Apparently, there was like a rumor that it was going to be Ripple, Dash, and Stratus as like the first three.
Ripple, Dash, and Stratus. So once again, like, I mean, really, Coinbase is going to have to continue to move into these other markets. They're slow to do it because they're having enough problems with their software. It's constantly crashing. When we had those spike downs last week, what day was that? Like a couple days before Christmas.
Yeah.
There was a lot of volatility in the market, and Coinbase was crashing over and over again. So they haven't added a lot of these coins that you can trade on these other accounts, which we're going to be talking about here today. And so when Coinbase, however, I believe does actually have, at least for the United States, the most amount of money in it. So as soon as somebody can buy something on Coinbase, it's all of a sudden like introducing a product to Walmart. You're instantly going to have more people in it.
Well, yeah, because Coinbase is the bottleneck for the U.S. consumer to get into the cryptocurrency exchanges and market. Like, yeah, Coinbase is an exchange, but at the same time, too, it's so limiting of what you can do. So that's why when these coins come in, because they're definitely going to add at least like 3 to 5 coins in 2018 for sure, at least that. And once that happens, every coin that's going to get announced is probably going to pump. And you better be damn sure that when it's going to pump and it goes up, Coinbase is not going to work, and they're not going to let you buy it for a day or two. So that's why, like, these type of speculation, it might be good just to have a little bit of fun just there, just in case if like out of nowhere they announce
those are rips you want to sell.
Yeah,
sell those rips. But I mean, really, all of you guys who tune into our show, whether this is your first time or your third time, and you've seen every show we've done so far, we're the more educated investors, traders in this crypto space. Because a lot of the people that I've talked to, like, I mean, my cousin even mentioned something to me. I don't think she's ever owned a stock in her life. She's like, yeah, I bought $1,000 worth of Litecoin. All of these people at my work are making a ton of money, and so I figured, why not? And her brother is like, what? And he's like a finance major, very conservative with his money, and was kind of like, do you know how speculative that is? But that just goes to show me, like, the people who are funding these like coins, they're not really interested in cryptocurrency. They're interested in the returns, and that's what initially gave a lot of the push, and will continue to give a lot of the push. But when you give those same people more options, if they can own, we've talked about before, one Litecoin at 300 or 300 Ripples at $1, they're probably going to start moving into the smaller base coins. So that's why I'm a real big fan of Ripple.
Well, because Ripple's going to have more purpose, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, as we move forward and more coins get added, people are going to start doing their research. At least I hope.
Sooner or later, the public becomes informed.
Exactly. And what they're going to know is that a lot of these coins just have a lot more purpose. And especially Ripple, if it gets announced by even like Amazon that they'll say we'll take Ripple or PayPal or something, then these coins are going to continually grow. Yeah,
and Ripple's got it has a lot more volume and a lot less volatility, which makes it. I mean, their idea is what's the creator? What's his name? The guy who created Ripple.
There were several. I forgot the individual's
There's one
name.
guy. I follow him on Twitter. You could pull it up, but pretty much their idea is if they can decrease the volatility, which the volatility is how big the trading range is, it becomes actually more useful. Because when Bitcoin goes at 20,000 to 15,000 like one week to the next, it's really hard to actually make financial transactions in something that is so volatile. So the less volatility, really the better for the long term, as far as like banks becoming involved in like real money, real cash money flow. Institutions like Amazon, because Amazon doesn't want to sell you your MacBook in Bitcoin, and then by the time they get the Bitcoin, say 10 days later, Bitcoin's dropped, $3,000. They can't take on that risk versus the instantaneous transaction of Ripple. The speed at which it does and the volatility is definitely not as high.
Yeah, because all the coins are centralized too. That's like the main thing. That's the reason why it's so stable, because a lot of these coins, if you look at their explosiveness, it comes because of the volatility comes from their decentralized nature. Like something like, if you look at the explosions of Ripple and Stellar, which are like their sister coins, their movements have been extremely similar because they're kind of pegged to each other. But if you look at centralized coins,
so what's the biggest difference between Stellar and Ripple then?
It's for purpose, right? So Ripple more acts as a means between banks and banks. Stellar is supposed to be more focused towards the individual to the individual.
Okay.
So that's like the main focus. Yeah, exactly. Like a MoneyGram type of thing. So a lot of their actions in the beginning, while I was following it, like last year, Stellar, the creator of it, who made eDonkey, I forget, Jed McCaleb, I believe the individual's name was. He did like a couple of like some drops, some like free supply drops type of things for Stellar. Like I believe it was back in June. So they're trying to get involved in like Africa and stuff like that too, which is interesting.
Okay, so like, what do you mean supply drop? Like they were sending supplies to Africa and paying for it using Stellar?
No, they actually like just give out coins and tokens. Yeah,
they're giving coins. You know that.
So for me, that was kind of like bearish. So like I heard the rumors about the IBM partnership, right? Mm-hmm. This was back in April, May. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hold on to it. And I saw that supply drop thing with Stellar. I'm like, that maybe I'll jump back.
Yeah,
for it,
get the humanitarian deal, but it's like
it's not bullish for me. You know, from a short term, medium long term hold, it's not that pleasing to me. For a long term, I'm like, all right, there's a guy behind it. He was pretty big in the tech scene, especially because of Ripple. You know, it gives it a little bit more weight, a little bit more credibility. But at the time of the drop, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna be out of this position. And this was like back in May.
What was it trading at? Do you remember?
It was very low. I believe it might have been 4 cents. I believe it was back then. But yeah, Stellar was just, I didn't touch it. Then around October, when the whole IBM stuff popped off, I was sleeping. So it was the weekend we launched, actually, Jack. So I was catching on with some sleep. It was pretty funny. But yeah, Stellar, so that's the difference between Stellar and Ripple. And it's going to be interesting to see how that develops.
Okay, so the December 19th high in Litecoin, where Charlie Lee, I think that the day after he announced that he had sold his entire position, we are now going to define that date as the Charlie Lee high. So December 19th, 2017 is going to be known as the Charlie Lee high. I think that is going to be a major high for Litecoin specifically, but actually for some of the other majors because of that loss of confidence around that week. So we're going to pay attention to that date going forward.
Well, I think especially for Litecoin. So the whole thing with Charlie Lee, I understand his position, but he's been trying to, I think he's been trying to engage the audience way too much on Twitter. Just keep responding, hey, you know what, I did what I did. Doesn't mean I'm not working with the Litecoin Foundation, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, too, you liquidate 100% of your position in like, God knows, like 48 hours or something, you know? So it doesn't inspire confidence.
I can't name a single founder of any major tech company that went on to succeed that was like, I'm just going to liquidate my position and just work behind the scenes.
At the same time, too, though, like these coins don't act as the same way companies do. You know, it's more like tokens for participation. Something like Litecoin, its essence is supposed to be like a currency.
But from a psychological perspective,
yeah, psychologically, I agree.
The founder, and first of all, this is all psychological at this point.
Of course.
I mean, this is not. I mean, there's really.
But all money's psychological.
Yeah, all money's psychological, but coins especially, you were taking the confidence and sucking it right out of. That's like Janet Yellen saying, you know what, I don't think I'm going to use the dollar anymore, guys. I sold all my dollars. I'm going to start buying things in yuan.
Yeah.
People are like, what?
But we don't know what he did. Like, did he completely liquidate it out of the cryptocurrency market, or did he put in other things and just maybe liquidate like maybe 40-50% in the actual fiat currency?
Heard he bought a penthouse.
Probably. You know,
probably. That's what I would have done.
So, yeah, it's
Charlie Lee high, December 19th, guys. Remember that. And since then, within the last week, Litecoin has been cut in half off of its high. It went from 375, traded all the way down to that 180. And honestly, that 180 level, I think we could retest it. And I mean, this is just a huge, this overhead supply area where he sold. I would not be looking at Litecoin in this consolidation because I think it's gonna probably retest that 180 until it can really prove that there's some momentum here. But right now, at this point, with those highs being in and the founder being completely out, I'm saying stay away from Litecoin. So we're not really going to
Yeah.
cover it much going forward unless it can take out that high. But I did just kind of want to mention.
Well, I always
that.
keep my eye on it too, but as being one of the top volume coins, because once again, even though Charlie Lee sold off, it didn't make as big as a dent I thought it would have.
Just yet though. I mean,
yeah, we'll see what happens from here on out. But I'm talking about for immediate, especially how cryptocurrencies work, like the news of Charlie.
Cut in half.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. But you can see with other coins too, they've been kind of falling off and faltering since that. But yeah, I thought it would go a lot lower than that. Like some FUD like that usually should drive a coin down. Like I'm thinking like 60-70%, like even more so than 50.
Yeah, but I mean, you have so much demand in the order book from like people who aren't even aware. My cousin who had owned Litecoin, wasn't even aware who Charlie Lee was.
Yeah, but someone like that is not like the whales. The whales know this stuff. They have everything updated. So if they see Litecoin's going to drop and they hold like 500K worth of Litecoin, if not more, they'll just start dumping it.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. But I do think some of the people a lot of the people, I mean, the whales are definitely getting in the market, but a lot of the drive of the market higher is definitely the euphoria and the hype of different coins.
Sure.
Yeah, and just once again, as a trading strategy in general, guys, that you want to have like these levels you've been talking about, Aaron. If you can show my chart, so every week we go over different levels of different coins, places where I personally would step in and buy. These are levels I had drawn up last week in Bitcoin, and one was at 13,700 and the other was at 11,500. You can see we came within like $400, which is that's about as close as you're really gonna get to like a great. You're not gonna nail the low within $400 on a day that had like a 4,000 point range. You really want to be placing limits like in waiting for pullbacks in these coins because they're so volatile. Don't feel the need to just jump right in unless you have like a breakout going where we're taking out highs. You really want to just have an order out there, wait for events like this because those are actually some of the best trading opportunities.
Yeah, I agree.
But did you have any news you wanted to go over for specifically Bitcoin, and then we can start moving into some of the charts?
Yeah, I got one here. It's kind of like an opinion piece, or not opinion piece. Under Forbes, alleged Bitcoin Cash insider trading discovered via Coinbase with potential 8 times return. They're basically talking about, I think this is under the Bitcoin subreddit or some sort of subreddit dealing with cryptocurrency. That someone said Bitcoin Cash coming in the next few days. To Coinbase. He says, I have a mate at CB, winky face. So to me, I thought Bitcoin Cash was always one of the top choices for the first pick for Coinbase to add, especially because they had to deal with the fork anyway and learning how like to code that and to take the coins out. So I don't know. I just think there's so much, like the crypto world's so chaotic, right, Jack? So with it being that chaotic, I think there's just a lot of misinformation and people just BS all the time. Can this guy have a friend Coinbase? Sure, but most likely I just don't even think that's the case. A lot of people just BS.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with the stock market. I mean, I rarely pay attention to opinion pieces because that's truly all they are. At the end of the day, it's price action.
Yeah,
that rules.
But at the same time, too, we could talk about Forbes, right? Forbes is running this, But if you've been trading crypto for a while, like we see this stuff all the time, Like if you're on Twitter, Reddit, whatever, there's always people doing this, people claiming this, people claiming that. Things hit, things don't hit. Is it insider trading? We just have no idea. But to bring this up, it's kind of like, yeah, can Coinbase be manipulating? Sure. Do I have evidence of that? No. But in the day, it is what it is, and it's part of the game.
Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and move on to... So I'll just actually cover a couple of levels here that I have in Bitcoin.
Cash?
Bitcoin. Still, my levels are not going to move. 13,700 for support, and then below that, 11,500. Those are the only two levels I'd be a willing buyer right now in Bitcoin. We actually traded both of those last week. So other than that, and really this 13,700 is that first level of support that we should possibly test again before heading higher. And then for BCC USD, I actually want to see. There was that massive run up based off the news events of And this is what happens when a cryptocurrency is introduced to Coinbase. And you guys see this massive run up here. That is exactly what date did it get in there? On the 12th there in December. And that is exactly what you're going to see. So that's what I'm expecting to happen if Ripple is introduced into Coinbase. I don't know for sure it is, but there's definitely a lot of speculation. You should see a run like that.
I think it'll run up higher than Bitcoin Cash right now. A lot higher.
As a percentage?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's cheaper. You know, people just like that psychological aspect, I think.
People feel like they can participate in a $4 versus like a $3,000 move for sure.
And I just think that Ripple just has a lot more hype than Bitcoin Cash does, because Bitcoin Cash is like, oh, it's just another Bitcoin, you know, but it's not the Bitcoin. You know, you're not buying the Bitcoin, but Ripple is its own entity. That's why I think it will fare very well, and it might not dump off as hard as Bitcoin Cash did.
Yeah. I mean, there's also, because there's more participants, there's heavier volume.
Sure.
So it doesn't, you know, typically when you have heavier volume, the order book there's not as much volatility, but you definitely can have that explosive move to the upside. But right now, you know, I really have no interest in actually buying Bitcoin Cash up here. I want to see, it's been on the platform for Coinbase for about a week now, and pretty much the day it was launched on the platform is the high. And I think we could probably pull back to the same low we traded, and that's really down in the 1800 to 1600 level. And you gotta, I mean, everybody pretty much got this coin for free that had owned Bitcoin. So when you think about it, it's like the original holders of Bitcoin Cash, it was the highest paying dividend you probably will ever receive. I mean, think about it. You owned a Bitcoin, and then you literally got a coin, and that coin for free, that coin went to $4,000.
Yep.
I mean, like, you want to talk about a good investment, that is the best dividend you will ever be paid. So why don't we go ahead and actually move? So I put about
yeah. Well, we'll move on to. I want to talk about that Bitcoin SegWit 2x thing that's going on. If you want to put that up, Aaron. So what I got here is the Reddit, the cryptocurrency Reddit. So basically, there's rumors of the Bitcoin 2x fork coming back. Some people said it was legit. Some people say it's a scam. So I try to look into it, and this is the research I got. So when you're in the subreddit, people are saying why it's a scam. So basically, this is not the same team that did the 2x fork back in November or tried to do it. So basically, there's this thing called GitHub, github.com, GITHUB.com. And that's usually the site that people post their updates and their white papers and their code about their cryptocurrency. It's one of the biggest resources that you could have. So apparently this person named Sketching Stories posted proof that basically there's 2 million coins pre-mined, which is over here. So if you guys could see my cursor, over here is part of the code, right? So up here it says SegWit Bitcoin 2x up here. So I believe the ticker for this was going to be B2X. And here's a consensus pre-mined value. So here's the code, and I'm about to highlight it. 2 million coins pre-mined. So people here are commenting, what? And people are just basically saying, hey, look, like you guys are just taking a huge share out of it. And basically it seems like a scam because once again, these coins are open source if they're allowed to be. And this guy is trying to use the open source thing to basically scam people thinking that this is the real 2x fork, which is not. It's just using the branding. But little did the guy know that the code's out there for people to see. So people actually look at that and people are commenting on it. And also here, the Sketching Stories on Reddit also claimed they're resetting the difficulty at time of the fork. So basically right now, if you're going to mine Bitcoin, it's basically going to be impossible unless you have a ton of money and cheap energy. So this fake Bitcoin 2x fork is actually changing the difficulty of mining back to 2009 when it started. So you could mine Bitcoin off of like a subpar computer.
Wow.
Yeah. So
and how are they gonna be increasing that hash rate?
Well, it's like this coin it's not the real 2x. You know, if it was a real 2x, it would fork off. It would keep the mining difficulty most likely the same. and all that jazz regarding mining. But they're already pre-mining 2 million ahead, and
Wow.
and they're resetting the difficulty. So people are like, all right, this is definitely a scam, you know. And CoinDesk has not even written an article about it, and it's only Cointelegraph, but people are roasting Cointelegraph now, saying that
So
you
I
should
thought
do
there
your
was
research.
didn't the majority of don't the majority of crypto miners or Bitcoin miners have to agree to technically allow the fork, or how do they allow that?
Well, you could
fork?
you could just technically fork off by having basically no participation because it's open source. But doesn't mean you're gonna get that boom. You get what I'm trying to say? When you fork off in the interest, anyone can make their own.
So it's not actually like a code fork. It's them just saying that they're. I mean, because I don't understand how that code fork works.
Well, yeah, it's during consensus. So certain levels of consensus will either make it its own entity. If it's low enough, it's high enough, it'll actually merge as a soft fork, which is the main block retains the same code. Or it adapts a new code, but it does not branch off. But anyone can fork any open source code. It doesn't mean that.
Okay,
it's
so
gonna
they're
be
pretty much
valuable.
just creating another crypto.
Yeah, they're basically copying and pasting and editing a little bit of information and calling it their own, and they're calling it SegWit 2x because the real SegWit 2x that was supposed to happen never happened. So they're using that brand because who's gonna sue you for using SegWit 2x, and they're trying to market it in a way that's a real 2x.
I'm sure they're gonna make millions.
Oh yeah, of course, probably.
Ridiculous. So I would actually stay away from that then. Outside of a trading, but from an investment standpoint.
Yeah, it's not. It's a shit coin. That's what it is. I mean, it's interesting to see though. You know, we'll see when it comes out, but most likely it's not the real fork, or else I would have known about it. That too. So.
Michelle's got a question here. Have y'all made withdrawals from Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, or had any problems? I have not. Have you?
I have not. As long as you make
reinvest everything.
Oh, I do reinvest everything. Personally, for me, almost everything. But yeah, I've not had any issue on either of them. I have moved coins from Binance, Kraken, Bitrex, and Poloniex, and I've never had an issue.
As far as I understand, the easiest one to pretty much remove coins from US is Coinbase. But there's, what is it, a $15,000 limit?
What, to sell the coins?
So if you were to sell the coin and then actually take the money
that's
back into your account, you pretty much want
unless you know someone, unless someone you can
someone
sell
in
to.
China is gonna sell you some yuan.
I'll take the one. I'll just convert it back. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, it's pretty much the only way unless you wanna sell to Bitcoin ATMs that will first they'll bring up the exchange. They'll pull up their own exchange price of Bitcoin. So pretend Bitcoin's like at 15K, they'll say, oh, it's 12K.
Yeah.
Then they'll hit you with the fees on top.
Massive spread.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, what a great business. But yeah, I mean, if you want to withdraw, I mean, Bitcoin ATM. So as long as you can move technically coins from one brokerage to the other, I mean, that's like the equivalent of like withdrawing.
Well, moving stuff in and out of Coinbase is a nightmare. So, for instance, if you are going to go to a Bitcoin ATM or give someone Bitcoin or just move it around, use something like the Bread wallet more than Coinbase because Coinbase just takes forever because they have their own back-end stuff.
So what is the Bread wallet?
It's just like an iOS, Android app. There's just like a ton of them. I've used Bread. So it's like a short term.
If you put the coin into the Bread wallet, can then you withdraw to your bank account from there?
No. I mean, I think you could sell through Bread now. They have like a third-party integration for like an exchange that you could just sell into your bank account. But it's very similar to Coinbase. It's basically Coinbase.
So what would be the purpose of moving it into the Bread wallet if you wanted to withdraw?
Because Coinbase transactions are just so slow.
Okay.
Because Bitcoin is already slow. But I was at Bitcoin ATM, I don't know, like maybe like a month and a half ago in Michigan. And it just took me like an hour and a half.
Are you serious? You just wait there for an hour and a half to get your money out?
Yeah. So I was listening to some podcasts and stuff, you know, but I was chatting with the guy inside, and yeah, I've been to like I think 4 different companies now, different Bitcoin ATMs, and some of them are better than others. But I've not had an issue regarding payments. I've gotten the money that they promised me, and everything is good. So
that could be a very long ATM line at peak hours.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow, it takes that long.
Yes.
I haven't done that, so that's
No, sometimes it's
good
supposed
thing
to be
to know.
quick. But they were telling me, hey,
It's a little cold in Chicago to wait outside for an hour and a half.
and I called customer service, and I told them, hey, what's taking so long? They're like, oh, it's Coinbase. But if you use the red wallet, then it would have been shorter. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But it was like, I just want to try it out. There's like a new company. I'm like, screw it out. I'll see what I could do here. Pull a bit of cash out. And it did it, but it just took forever because of Coinbase.
So if you send your money to the Bread app, what was it called?
Bread wallet.
Bread wallet, and then you go to the ATM, and then you pull from the Bread wallet. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so basically you have the code.
I'm learning here too, guys.
Yeah, so hopefully in the future, instead of Bitcoin ATMs, we have some like Litecoin ATMs or Ether ATMs. They'll take different cryptocurrencies because Bitcoin is just way too slow. So if we're going to use it as an ATM, this could be an issue.
It's I mean, learning really more and more about all this stuff, it just seems like Bitcoin like doesn't have like a very bright future.
Yep.
compared to like, I mean, if you want, if I got to go to the ATM and I got to wait an hour and a half to pull out my Bitcoin and I got to wait 10 seconds to pull out my Litecoin, I'm going to transfer my Bitcoin to Litecoin, hit the ATM and pull out the Litecoin. But right now, because of the early adaptation and because Bitcoin was the first coin out there, a lot of these ATMs, they only have software written for pulling out Bitcoin. So they don't have the software yet for Litecoin. So Litecoin ATMs, that could be the next big thing.
Yeah, definitely. That's the number one strength of Litecoin rather than Bitcoin for sure.
And Ripple ATMs, that'd be good.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, because that's the thing with Ethereum. All these tokens run off Ethereum. So if you have something that's integrated with the Ethereum network, then you have the possibility of like ERC20 tokens for converting for fiat, which could be very interesting in the future to see that.
Okay, so while we're on the topic of transferring. For those of you guys who so I'm a trader, right? And this is the crypto expert. So as we do the show, I'm learning more and more about cryptocurrency. But typically I just go over the charts, and I'm probably in a similar situation as some of you guys are now, which I don't consider myself a crypto expert whatsoever, but I do know enough about trading. So what we're gonna do here is we are going to transfer it in a pretty much top tick Bitcoin like a boss. Bought the high. No, somewhere near it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer Bitcoin and Ethereum, which I have a little bit of Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum, from a Coinbase account to a Binance account. So if you have a Coinbase account and you wanted to trade, and there's other brokerages you could do like Kraken and stuff. I just have Binance, whatever. I just set it up like. So we're going to transfer. Let's just do, and we can do more next week into like Kraken or something.
Yeah, I always say this, like just open an account with every single major one. So I got one for Poloniex, Bitrex, Kraken, Binance. I want to open up a Gemini one because you want options, right? I would say if you have the infrastructure, then you have options. And when you have options, there's different coins that you might be interested in. And if you have it set up now, once the next big wave of crypto, people that are interested in crypto come, which I'm expecting probably sometime in the spring, all these websites are going to be shut down again.
I tried to open up a Bitrex account and I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
they shut off new applications.
Yeah, they tried making Bitrex accounts and they can't because just too many people joining at one time. So at least when you have it now, created now, then it'll be easier to transfer all your stuff and get into the swing of things.
Cool. So just to kind of go through the method, and I'll let you do it on my computer just so I don't send this Bitcoin into space.
Yeah, it'll be quite easy. So basically, you want to go to the Binance.
Area. So we got Binance here. Let's see. Don't show my screen yet here.
Okay, yeah, go to your deposits.
Funds.
Yeah,
deposits.
funds.
Okay, so
yeah, and go to deposit over here.
Now you can load me up.
So you want to scroll down to make sure it's Bitcoin and not Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Gold or anything else.
So now we go to Bitcoin right here, and then we go over to deposit.
Yeah. So you could show this.
So this is my address. If anybody would like to send me money, feel free. I also have a Amazon wish list. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So basically, you want to grab that code.
Okay.
Or that line. So copy it.
Copy address. Success. Bitcoin wallet.
Yeah, make sure you save it, switch it over.
Send. And then wallet address, paste.
Paste, there you go.
And then, wow, $20 to send this.
Yeah, Bitcoin is expensive too. This
Damn.
time. Litecoin is better. I think it charged me 15 cents.
Jeez, this is expensive. It's like my dinner right there. All right, so I was gonna send $100, but now I feel like that's not even worth it. 20% fee.
Well, also Scott here in the chat is asking how does the IRS or the Feds handle cryptos? They do not.
So they just actually, I read something about that. So pretty much it's taxable gains. It's like
Capital gains.
Capital
thing,
gains.
Yeah. So basically what I do is when I cash out, I just cash out through Coinbase and they have record of everything. So when I do my taxes, everything's there.
Yeah, they're going to be behind that for a while, to be honest. But I mean, first things first, if you make money trading cryptos, you have to pay taxes. Like, you know, you're not going to skirt the IRS here, but I don't even think it's capital gains, basically. Talk to your accountant. I'm not a CPA or anything.
Yeah, me either.
But I do have a CPA, and I'm like, yo, this is what happened.
My understanding is if you keep your exchange and you're still trading, you're fine. But the moment you convert to fiat, that's when.
So I read that they recently changed it, although I'm not sure. I just read that today. So if you make $100,000 in Litecoin and then you take that money and roll it into like Ethereum, as soon as you made the transaction to roll from Litecoin to Ethereum, you have to pay capital gains.
Interesting.
Capital gains. And if you hold, so you have to hold over a period of a year to actually be capital gains. Otherwise, it's considered income. So when you're trading Bitcoin and you're in and out, it's income. It's not long-term capital gains. Long-term capital gains is only after a period of a year. Once again, check with your CPA. I'm not a CPA. But it'll be interesting if they apply. So in like futures, they have what's called a 1256 contract, which is 40% is taxed at your. I want to say it's 40% is taxed at your income, and then the rest is long-term capital gains. It's either that or the other way around.
For me, I'm just wiring my stuff as like capital gains. For me personally, and once like the Feds actually come out and define everything clearly, then we'll play by the rule, like that specific thing, you know, because like capital gains, like I'll check with my accountant, obviously, you know.
So the IRS just won a junction or some kind of case against Coinbase where they are requiring Coinbase to release their records to the IRS.
Yeah, because supposedly only 0.3% of people on Coinbase file for taxes,
which is hilarious. Which is also actually crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't teach you how to file taxes in high school, and a lot of kids in high school are the people who like bought this stuff, you know, in the early stages. So
yeah, of course.
That, you know, maybe they're just behind on their taxes.
I mean, I think just the government is just doesn't have the infrastructure now to actually tackle this big issue, because it's a very big issue.
The one thing's for sure, if you are withdrawing that money, you better be putting some aside for taxes. I mean, because of the way everything works, like, I mean, if you send your money to China, I don't know if Binance is getting subpoenaed for trade transactions from the IRS. I do not know. I'm definitely not recommending you try to avoid your taxes. However, if you are pulling tens of thousands of dollars out of your trading accounts, you know, that's when you're going to have a problem and you need to talk to a CPA. And when you're pulling tens of thousands of dollars out of a trading account, you can afford a CPA. So really, other than that, if you're in for the long term, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. But we'll look more into that in the future as the law evolves. But right now, I don't even think it's caught up to what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so back to sending this money to myself. So I'm just gonna send. I guess I'll just send it all. Send max, because this is gonna cost me $20, which I think is ridiculous. That's super expensive. I'm used to like trading fees, like actual futures. I mean, it's so much cheaper, but
yeah, that's why I got Litecoin. But the problem was I lost a little bit from the Litecoin because I bought it like a week ago, So I lost a little bit of money there. So I might as well just pay the fee and got the Bitcoin.
Yeah, I'm down about $150 on this position, but that's okay. I mean, this is just
it's part of the game.
This is play money right now. I just I'm doing this for the purpose of educating myself and educating you guys. So just continue. So I'm not sending this into space.
So yeah, you maxed it. No, you're good as long as you have the.
Write an optional message. Coinbase.
You don't have to. I never type anything. Well, you're typing it into the USD box, I believe.
I'm just giving Coinbase a note. I don't want them coming after me. All right. Network fee. Continue. All right.
Yeah.
Hopefully this money doesn't disappear. And I got to get my Google authorization code. It's Google Auth, guys. We talked about this. Let's see.
Aaron, keep it.
Sorry, guys.
Are you sure? Hey, are you sure the address is the same? Look at the last three.
And it's gone.
Okay.
And it's gone.
All right, perfect. So you should be getting an email soon.
So
that's how you send it, and then you wait. You wait a little bit, and yeah, Binance should be receiving it. Yeah, this is why I always just transfer stuff in Litecoin for the most part, because Coinbase could sell it, and it's faster.
Okay, so if outside of getting an email from them, which how long should it take for the email to go through?
It should be quite immediate.
That's good. It's not here.
Okay, perfect.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, make sure when you get the email, cross-reference the.
Yeah, well, I don't have an email yet, so. Oh, let's see. Oh no, that's no email from them. So maybe that money just got sent to outer space. We'll get back to you guys next week whether I got the money or not. Could have just sent $800 to outer space. But that's how it's done.
Yeah. So it's just like the waiting game now. You could click on. So yeah, another cool thing we could show you guys. Go to click deposit again on Bitcoin, Jack.
Deposit on Bitcoin. Okay.
Yeah, and there should be go down, scroll down a little bit so people can see it.
Bitcoin Cash deposit Binance. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm already there.
Okay, yeah. Do you see a screen where it says like check confirmation on the right side where those the sentences are at?
Check confirmation.
Yeah. So on the right side of Bitcoin, you brought up that deposit menu. Click the history page. After making a deposit, you can track its progress here. So this will tell you the confirmations of it going through to come. So hopefully this will pop up.
Yeah, hopefully.
Nope.
That's not good.
No, Coinbase takes forever too though. So yeah, that's a big thing. So I wouldn't worry about it. It takes a while. Coinbase is slow, very slow, and Bitcoin's very slow. So it's not a good combination.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to let you guys know next week how long it took to get that money transferred over to Binance.
Yeah, Joshua, I see your comment. Yeah, it does take quite a while. For me, Litecoin, I never had anything slower than like 20 minutes personally. But Bitcoin, yeah, hours I've gotten before waiting.
So if I went through Coinbase and then what if I transferred my Bitcoin to Litecoin with inside Coinbase? Can you do that?
No. I think you only sell directly for USD.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's for GDAX. I think GDAX does that. But I don't touch GDAX because I don't want to deal with Coinbase.
Okay.
For the most part. I mean, I have to deal with them when I purchase coins, but it's like I don't like being part of that ecosystem. It's too limiting. Okay, so what else we got here? Which levels did we not go through yet? Did we do Ethereum?
We did not go through Ethereum.
Okay, so we can talk about Ethereum chart now, see where it's been going and where it's heading.
So once again, guys, like you get these super dips, and this one went right to like where we had broken out from. But going forward, really what I like to do, I'm gonna bring up a little fib retracement tool here, and I'm gonna take from this swing low and draw it to the most recent high. Let me actually go to an hourly chart here, 4-hour chart. So when we broke down initially, and that was back on the 22nd.
I believe so, yeah.
That swing low to that next high. So typically one of the entry tools I just use in traditional trading is just called a halfway back. It's a 50% retracement. And that is taking a low to a high and dividing that number by 2. And that is exactly what this green line is. And you can literally see this is a 4-hour chart, which means each one of these candles represents 4 hours in time. Every single open and close there is right on that level, which is $629.36. So right now, that is the support, and its current upside profit target on this 4-hour chart is right back at highs, which is 813, which I think it'll be hard to get through. So I'm not going to be any more aggressive than this, and I will just take that same swing low to high here, and that gives me a level at 636. So if we can trade back down to 636, I'll just bust out my credit card and buy some Ethereum, because guess what? Buying with a credit card is actually like 10 times faster than transferring money from your bank account.
Yeah,
so,
well, you can only buy a lot less, though. That's the only
you can only buy $300. But I was trying to, I was just testing out the different methods to use on Coinbase, and I wanted to see if there was a difference in the fees between a debit card and a credit card. And I did it with my credit card, and then I tried doing it with my debit card, but then I had hit their max $300 limit a week, so I didn't find out that information. Do you know if the fee is different if it's a credit or debit card?
It's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
So you might as well earn the points. Earn the points, guys. So pay off your credit card immediately. Do not carry debt.
So because now that Ethereum has that two dip support for 636, you believe that's a great support?
Yeah, I believe that's a great support. Okay. And Ethereum, Bitcoin, these are the mega caps, right? These are the big coins. We've talked about that. These are the ones that from the evidence I've seen, there are computer algorithms running and buying these levels. So 636, my buy level in Ethereum. If we hit it, I'll go ahead and actually place in order to buy some more, just slowly putting more and more money in. But yes, and then there's a question here. Can you look at Bitcoin charts on Thinkorswim? Good point, because that was one more thing we wanted to cover, which was Bitcoin futures. So are Bitcoin futures holding Bitcoin down? Because pretty much as soon as so we had initially the CBOE, which is the Chicago Board of Options Exchange, introduce Bitcoin futures, and their future contract represented the value of one coin. Then the CME, which is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and the big futures hub for really the world, they have the most liquid futures products that trade the most volume, and the most money is transacted on their platform. The most liquid futures product is the ES for indexes, and then there's also ZB, which is 30-year bonds. But BTC is their contract, and one contract is equivalent to 5 Bitcoins. And this is the open. So the first day we started trading was the 18th, which I believe was Sunday. And then since then, Bitcoin on this daily chart went 5 days straight down, and then we ran into a halfway back short on BTC, which is the high taken to the low divided by 2, and you can see we're actually selling off from that level. So this is its own price. It does not directly track the actual price of Bitcoin. This is a cash settled futures contract. It's not settled in Bitcoin, so there is dislocation and there is going to be a spread. So what's the price of Bitcoin right now, if you want to quote me? 15,314 on Coinbase. The futures contract is 14,735. So roughly a $1,000, not $1,000 difference, roughly a $600 difference between the price of the futures contract and the actual price on Bitcoin.
And that's not that jarring of a difference.
So what would be like Kraken right now?
Well, that's the thing. So if you go on CoinMarketCap, it says it's 15,818 right now. Let me see where I could find trade volume.
So yeah,
so the highest thing right now I see is Bitfinex BTC pegged with USD is 15,295 is the price, and that's 6.8% volume.
15,295
on
Bitfinex.
And
6.8% of the global volume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Traded.
And how many Bitcoins is that over the last week? Can you look it up? Or it just tells you percentage? It just tells me percentage. Because the total amount of the equivalent notional value of Bitcoins that have so far been traded on the CME futures contract is equivalent to 18,445 contracts have been, or Bitcoins, technically, the notional value of Bitcoins has been traded on this CME contract, which is considered a pretty successful new product launch for a futures contract. So that's a decent amount of volume. Okay, and then so that hopefully answers your question about Thinkorswim, BTC, and if you guys want a Thinkorswim account, you can just go to MajorLeagueTrading.com, and then at the top it'll say Preferred Brokers, and then click Thinkorswim, and you can open up. This is a charting platform for free, so anybody who's just generally interested in trading or looking for a place to find Bitcoin futures contract, go to MajorLeagueTrading.com, and then click click Preferred Brokers, and then there'll be a link that says TD Ameritrade. You can open up one of these accounts and just begin looking at the futures contracts.
So should we talk about our coins of the week? What happened with them?
So Kavork. So last week we picked coins of the week. Mine was Verge. Where is that? What's it? Actually, let's go here.
I mean, most of it's trade on BitREX.
What is it? VRG?
XVG.
XVG, USD. So this was mine last week, and we went up and down. I didn't actually buy it, but we were just kind of betting on horses here. Let's see, let me go to a daily chart. This thing went from, what was it, what day we were here? So we were here. I think it was 17 cents when we were talking about it.
Yeah, I believe it was around 17.
And it went up to 30, and now it's crashing.
Was it 30? I thought it was 28, but regardless, yeah, I was somewhere around there.
29.6.
My choice was VeChain. VeChain was at around $1.50. Earlier today, it went up to the highs of $2.50. Now it's come down to around the $2.05 range. I'm still bullish on it personally.
Both picks were up over 50%.
Yeah.
So just set limits and leave. Don't
but
hold on to these things.
I still won this week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Kavork definitely took home the W there. But I think it'll be interesting once I get this money moved over into Binance. We'll actually start doing some. We'll start doing some trades with just like $1,000. Just the pick of the week, throw $1,000 in it, and last week we would have made $500. Like literally screwing around.
Yeah,
like that's the funny thing. Yeah, that's. But
crazy. With our minds, hopefully we can do a little bit better than that.
Well, that's just. I mean, if we can compound 50% a week, we're gonna be doing pretty good.
Pretty well. Yeah, but VeChain is still good. I still think I'm very bullish on it. XVG is still good, but I think personally it's gonna take a little bit of time of consolidation because it pumps so high.
Oh yeah.
And now I think it's gonna relax a little bit, even though the Wraith protocol, which is like the new tech that's coming out for Verge, is coming out within the week. But I still think it's kind of losed a lot of steam, and I think, especially because now we're approaching a time that Coinbase will probably announce its new coin. I think they're going to do it sometime in January.
Yeah, that's a ton of overhead supply. I wouldn't even touch this now. I was just looking at the chart before. I would not touch this now. This is a dead chart.
Yeah, so right at this point, I would not. I personally, I'm not going to enter it. But yeah, VeChain, I'm still a little bit bullish for VeChain.
So what's your pick this week?
Let me see. Give me a second. I'm trying to choose, but
I like Ripple.
I think Ripple's going to do good. But I might have to give it.
It's heading into a breakout.
I think VeChain's heading for a breakout. So
let me take a look at it. Give me the ticker.
It's either gonna be VEN or VET, but I'm not sure it's gonna be on because it's on Binance. I don't know if TradingView has a
VEN USD or VET.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have it. So if I go to
the Binance, yeah.
So where do I need to go on Binance, to the exchange?
I'll go to exchange and go to advanced probably.
Okay.
And then on the top bar to the right, there should be a pairing.
Top bar to the right. There's
middle or
English.
I think there's a pairing on the top bar. I think it's like the third.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
right there.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go to USDT because I cannot stand looking at things in Bitcoin.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll have it, but you could check for sure. I don't know if the ticker was VEN, but now it's being switched to VET. Just a simple rebranding. Yeah, so I'm so
I don't know if I can.
yeah, I don't know if they have it on USD because Binance is pretty lacking on the USDT transfer.
Okay, so really I can only look at it in
Yeah, Bitcoin.
damn.
Well, this is what happens when you're dealing with specific altcoins. Sometimes they just don't have the USDT comparison or pair.
I still can't find it.
No?
BTC. Well, I just typed
BTC, just type in VEN.
that.
Yeah, try it out if it's not
Okay.
BTC.
Oh, VEN, BETC. Okay.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be, they're switching to VET.
Crazy looking
And
chart.
if you're on Blockfolio or CoinCap, they actually have a listing for both VEN and VET. It's just a little screw up until they get their stuff together.
So this is 0.00125
Satoshi.
Satoshi.
Yeah.
That makes it really hard for me to calculate in my head, to be honest.
Yeah, so basically, it's been rising up, and I still think it's the breakout levels. It has still not consolidating in one area. I think it's keep moving up. I personally believe.
Do you own this?
Oh yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah! Look at that
yeah,
confidence.
come on,
Oh
come
yeah!
on, of course. That's why I said last week. I said last week my positions are for this week, which I'm currently holding still, is I am holding Stratus, I am holding VeChain. And I'm holding actually my move I made a couple days ago. I moved into Syscoin also.
Syscoin?
Yeah.
Is that
SYS.
any of those?
It's on Bitrex.
Okay.
I think it should be on
SYS.
SYS because they have a lot of good tech stuff coming up.
Yep, we got it. Syscoin USD.
Yeah, check it out.
Let's check it out. Ooh, I like that one. That's a good looking chart.
Oh yeah.
It's a good looking chart.
Been writing that up. So
where did you get in that one?
I got that one. I believe at 74 cents.
So decent, up to 88.
Yeah.
Good return.
So I'm
just
still holding on to it,
right?
Huh?
Just yesterday.
Yeah.
20% in a day, no problem.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ride it up. I think it's gonna hit $1.20. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for that to boost up a little bit higher. But I'm bullish on Syscoin too. They have a lot of good development stuff going on right now.
So Katie says Litecoin levels.
Yeah. So let's do Litecoin.
We'll just go over the levels. So Katie, I mean, so we were just kind of joking earlier that there is the December 19th Charlie Lee high.
Yeah.
So Charlie Lee sold all his Litecoin, and I think that high is going to be in for a while, but we are holding just halfway back from this swing low to high. And we've traded that to the tick so far. So that level is $241. So that would be like my major support level with really upside resistance just at this previous high at 309. And then I think 342. These previous highs before that high, that's going to be hard to get through. That 342, if we start creeping above that 342 level, is when I think that Litecoin could possibly have another breakout. But I'm excited to see. Katie, did you clear this with compliance? They're gonna let you trade. They're gonna let you trade coins now. She got banned from trading stocks.
Oh.
Yeah, because she's a boss. Has to go through compliance.
Yeah.
But now she's back into crypto.
Yeah, so I'm thinking. So you think 242 is a proper level to get in?
Yeah, so 242. I mean, that's just the 50% retracement. You can
Yeah.
see the participation. I mean, like I said, there are computer programs that are in this. There is participation. We've seen that level bid once. Now we're pulling back into the 38.2. So if this ends up being a higher low. So if this ends up being a higher low and we swing back above this resistance, there's a lot of resistance right now at this 280 level. If we can clear back above 280, Katie, I would look for potential pullback. But right now, I see a pretty tight range developing between 260 to 280, possible pullbacks to 242. If it doesn't either break out above 280 and then pull back or trade down into 242, I'm not interested in it in between this current range. I just think it's going to be, I mean, if you're a long-term holder, you're fine. But for me, from a trading perspective, that range that's developed here, I don't want to be looking at it inside there. So, and then was there any other coins you wanted to go over? And then I guess I'm going to buy Ripple as soon as this money hits.
Yeah, I might take some of these Syscoin gains and move them into Ripple. Yeah, for me, basically the one altcoin I want to talk about is called Tron. It's only traded on Binance, ticker TRX. Basically, they did a couple of really cool things. Tron partners with oBike to add 10 million users. Justin Sun, the guy behind Tron, basically announced that this partnership is it's actually pretty big, right? Sun was made the Forbes 30 under 30 list twice at the age of 26, and was handpicked by Alibaba chief Jack Ma himself to study at the Jack Ma Hupon University for Entrepreneurs. The two Chinese tech gurus has close ties already. So apparently, yeah. So how many people were using this oBike ecosystem? I believe they said it was. Let me see. It was in the millions. It says here under the tweet, 20 countries across Europe, Asia, and Australia with 10 million users. I would highlight that, but it's an image. So yeah, that's really big, you know. So you're having, once again, these blockchain systems like Tron. They're just adding more and more partnerships to actually use like tokens that could be used in real life. You know, it's not like some crazy concept out there that's actually happening in front of us. So in Tron's still pretty cheap too. It hasn't exploded that much yet because it's only on Binance. But that's a really big partnership right there. And for me too, Tron includes senior developer from Alibaba in the team, so they're getting more Alibaba stuff. So yeah, it grew 1,750% in December, but I still think it'll go up higher too because of its utility.
750%.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So they're adding more and more
becoming
to the
the
team.
19th largest coin. So Tron
Yeah.
is and that is not chartable on TradingView, correct?
No, because it's probably only on Binance, so
Okay.
it's not going to pop up.
Do you think that'll pop up on USDT Binance?
I don't know because I've not seen Binance stuff under TradingView.
Darn. I actually don't like Binance anymore. See, yeah. There's only a few pairs.
Mokate, or how that's pronounced in the group, the chat said trying to explode over 1,000%. Yep. And it will probably continue to explode even more. It just, a lot of these coins, they don't stop. And it's still very cheap, and I still believe now that they're expanding more.
So
it's
what the
still
total
a smart
market
move.
cap is of that coin? The total market cap value? Or whatever coin is worth?
Yeah, so let me check that up right now. Yeah, I know USDT Tron does not exist. It's very limited on Binance, but let me see here. I think it's 14th on market cap. About to pull it up right now.
Guys, we got 420 subscribers on our YouTube channel, so I'm going to need a couple more subscribers to get that number above 420 because we don't want people thinking we're a bunch of stoners over here.
Yeah, so Tron TRX here, the current market cap is 154,000 Bitcoin, or it's 2.3 billion.
2.3 billion?
Yeah.
Chump
Not
change.
bad. Not bad.
Chump change.
So yeah, this one's growing big, and I still think it's gonna go up higher. Might hit 10 cents down the line. Who knows? So I believe so. But yeah, that's just one coin I want to talk about. Some big news with them. Good partnership. Their development team is growing with people that have background in this type of stuff. So that's why I'm bullish for that type of news always.
Cool. So you can't quote that to dollar. Can you quote that to dollar? There's got to be a calculator somewhere. There has to be.
Well, no, the only
somewhere.
thing is you can only convert the BTC because a
But
lot of
then
these.
you can convert. There has to be a calculator somewhere that like you could plug every. I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but there's got to be a calculator online where you can, even if you can plug it to BC, you can take BC back to the dollar. So there's got to be a way to.
Well, no,
saying there
because
should be a calculator
I don't know.
online.
There might be one, but it has to be synced with these networks all the time, or the way that the way Blockfolio does it, and the way they get information from these exchanges. But it's extremely difficult because Bitcoin's always fluctuating all the time.
But there has to be, if there was a live calculator, there's got to be.
I mean, there might be one. I've never used
Somebody
it.
find one. There's
this is how
gotta be one on the internet.
I mean, it's how I view it, right? I mean, for coins like the big volume coins, I'll look at them in USDT to that relative coin. But these smaller altcoins, I just view them in Satoshi, which is the unit of Bitcoin.
Yeah, but how many things have you bought in Satoshi?
What, in the real world?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot.
That's why I look at things.
I know.
As
I'm just saying for these.
like,
I'm just saying for these.
Can I buy a Ferrari?
Yeah, I'm saying. Well, these low altcoins, they just don't have that pair yet. It's too early, and I feel like a lot of this, like a lot of the U.S. government just doesn't want people to pair USD with these coins yet. That's why some like Coinbase was created for was to act as like kind of like a bottleneck for people getting the cryptocurrency world. So that's why a lot of these coins you can only relate them to BTC because BTC is the
but if you can relate it to BTC, you should be able to then calculate that to the dollar. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, there might be some sort of live calculator out there that might do it, but that's going to change moment by moment.
Yeah. Yeah, Scott, as far as I know, there is no public official announcement. I am totally speculating that Ripple's going to be on Coinbase.
Yep, top three.
Just literally...
I agree with the rumor. The rumor is it's going to be... I don't know if they'll announce it at the same time or separately, but apparently the ones that are confirmed by the leak, it's a leak, so I don't know if it's true or not. Just saying this because this is what I heard. Ripple, Dash, and Stratus. Ripple and Dash are probably the more likely ones because Dash still has like this very crazy following, and they have their own mark. Like they paid their dues, the Dash team, to get to that.
Do you think
position.
10 years from now we'll be looking back on this and going, I remember when Coinbase only had 3 coins?
Oh, by then they'll probably have hundreds.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna be like, I remember when there was only 3 coins. It's like the Dow Jones Industrial or the S&P 500 before there was even 500 stocks. It's like the Dow used to trade at 5.
Oh yeah.
Now it's at 24,000.
Yep.
Crazy
stuff.
I can't confirm. Yeah, so I mean it's all speculation, guys.
Yeah, right now we don't know, but if you're trying to anticipate that type of movement, it's probably better to get those coins now that you think is going to get in Coinbase rather than later, because once this thing spikes and gets announced,
once it's confirmed. But I'll tell you what, just looking at this price action, so I mean from a trader's perspective, what we like to think is that we can see the whales in the price action and the footprints, and this has done nothing but consolidate, breakout. In the breakouts, it's not like there's not the swings or every dip has just been bought up hard. You have these wicks, so like these wicks here, let me get rid of this draw here. These wicks here are closing at their opens. All of these down wicks are closing at their opens. From like a trading perspective, that tells me, literally just looking at this chart, out of every chart I've looked at today, especially because there's a lot of volume in this. This isn't like one of those super speculative sub penny cryptos that's gonna fly higher. There's the depth of the order book is extremely high. I think the market cap's like around 5 billion now.
Yeah, it's high up there. Let me pull it up.
I mean, it's got good volume. You know, this is more of a mature coin.
Yes, it is.
Looking at this, to me, I don't know what's going on, but I know that if somebody does know what's going on, they're definitely buying this. We are right now, as I'm speaking, like within a penny or two of breaking into a new all-time high, and there's pretty decent volume on this coin. So I
think
like
it's
this
gonna skyrocket past it.
I mean, I don't even know if I just love Ripple as a long-term hold here. This is like Apple in '99.
Okay.
That's just what I think, because I just
Jack
think
Gleason, ladies and gentlemen.
I just think it's going to be around for a long time because it's being adopted by banks.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
You know, like the rest of these coins, it's like, oh, Alibaba's got it. Like, okay, that's like a great rumor, but like, you know, I mean, Alibaba's a huge
it's
company.
like, once again, is it blockchains for purpose with specific code to do something like data management or something, or is it trying to be a currency? You know, these things like Litecoin and Bitcoin might go down and Ripple might be stronger in the long term, but I still wouldn't rule out these other cryptocurrencies that don't necessarily use their blockchains to be used as a currency. More like a token for participation.
Well, anytime I look at, like, when you have a lot of volume, like, you also, like, to me, like, you know, you always have to, how much money can I lose? Anytime you have a more mature coin, although in the more speculative coins, like the Tron and things like that, like, they don't have the volume, they aren't as mature, they offer much more upside because of that. But these more mature coins, for those of you who want to like speculate on something long term, to me, they have depth of order book, volume, multiple participants. That actually makes it less speculative to me from that aspect. So that's why, like, from, you know, as safe as cryptos get, you know, when you look at the mature coins, they're still volatile, still crazy, and you can still get your ass kicked if you're not paying attention. But if you watch this show every Wednesday and like the video below, make sure you guys do that. I know you're participating. Hit that like button, that thumbs up right here. Give me a thumbs up. You will stay on top of things. I do think this is the best investment opportunity of our generation.
What, Ripple?
No, just crypto.
Yeah, I agree.
Crypto. And I've been trading for 10 years now. Yeah. And I mean, there's just nothing that moves like this. This is unleveraged movement.
Yeah, and guys, I said this before, we're still in the early adopter period, so we're not. You guys aren't too late to the party, in my opinion. We're not anywhere near an all-time. We're not anywhere near a bubble, in my opinion. There's gonna be a couple of like shit coins that will die out, a couple of scams here and there that might just plummet.
To me, even if it is a bubble though, like you're gonna be able to trade it. Like
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
we're gonna be on top of that stuff.
For
So
sure.
it doesn't scare me. It should scare people who are closing their eyes and just blindly.
Sure, but yeah, I still believe that we're gonna be in this hyper bull market state at least for another year. I'm still giving a year.
Yeah,
for
no,
another
you're
bull
not
market.
late to the party.
Yeah,
You're not late to the party, in my opinion at least. And then Scott Wyden, as far as like a newbie walkthrough, if you haven't already done it, go to majorleaguecrypto.com, enter your email. You're gonna get a password to log in. There's a learning management software. We actually have a couple of walkthrough videos that Kevork has done going over the basics of crypto. So anybody listening here who has not done that, majorleaguecrypto.com, enter your name and your email. You'll be sent a login with videos to actually walk you through some of the basics of crypto trading, crypto investing. But I definitely recommend you do that. And always feel free, guys. We're going to wrap up here in just a moment. We'll take a couple more questions and a couple of more charts if anybody wants us to go through them. But always feel free, guys, to share these videos on Facebook. Tell your friends about it. We want to get this YouTube live stream very, very big. And thank you guys for taking time out of your nights to come here, watch us, listen to us. This is, an educational learning experience for me, especially. Kevork is teaching me a lot about the crypto space. I know about trading, but I'm new to crypto.
Yeah, so basically the course that we have now is a free Bitcoin course, but we're actually gonna have like a cryptocurrency trading course coming soon. Yeah, so we have that free Bitcoin course. So put your information down there, and basically it'll teach you stuff like private keys, more stuff about like more in depth about soft forks, hard forks. What are they? What constitutes each one? And stuff like storage, like what's the safest way of storage and the easiest way, hot wallets, cold storage, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think we're far away from when you see parents investing their IRAs in a Coinbase, that's when we're out. That's when the top's in.
I think it's already happening with some people. With other people. No, but you know
Tell
what?
the story that you told me at the beginning about the guy who mortgaged his house.
Oh yeah, there's a guy who apparently like sold like his house and everything he had and like bought like a shitty RV.
And just bought a bunch
yeah,
of
like
Bitcoin?
he took his wife and kids to like the wilderness and sold everything to buy like cryptocurrency. Hey, genius! If I had that, I would honestly I'd sell my house at this point to get in crypto.
Hilarious.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, but it's funny. But those are people like that, and
It's
I
already
think
happening. I did it. You put your 401k in there? No, but like actually when it becomes like, because I don't think you can you don't get the tax benefits. You
no,
can,
I think you could do I think there's ways to do it through your IRA.
okay.
The IRA is probably the better way to go with that.
ETFs.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's ways to do the IRA that you can actually get your cryptocurrency like in like a nano ledger sent to you.
Speaking of Bitcoin ETFs, does anybody know the name of that one? It's like I forgot.
GBTC?
Yes, GBTC.
Yeah,
you guys,
that's the one.
this stuff. This volatility. Look, this is an ETF. It went from 600 to 3,500 down to 1,200, back up to 2,400 in under a month, or maybe a couple months. But still, that's crazy.
Yeah, it looks like Drew from the comments saying it is already happening. I did it. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, for me, I already said like everything that I basically have, all my assets are basically cryptocurrency personally, because I just believe in it. I think it's good. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, and there's a lot of ways to make profit for sure. Because if you're not trading it, you can mine it, etc., etc.
Which we're going to be doing soon.
Yes,
Within the next couple of months, we're going to be building miners. So stay tuned, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Major League Crypto YouTube live stream Wednesday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time every week.
See you guys next week.